Economic survey is one of the most important sources for UPSC economy. Every year, 4 to 5 questions come directly or indirectly from it. So, in the next 10 minutes, I will help you revise the entire economic survey 2026 with concepts, charts, trends, and ready-made mains points. Let's begin. We'll cover macroeconomy, sectors, fiscal policy, external sector, employment, social development, and reforms. Think of this as a crash revision before exam. First, the big picture. India remains the fastest growing major economy. Key facts are GDP growth around 7% plus, inflation is low, fiscal deficit is reducing, forex reserves are strong. So the overall message is growth with stability. Now look at this graph. After the COVID contraction, India shows a sharp recovery and then stable growth around 7%. This is not temporary growth, it is sustained. For mains, you can write India exhibits resilient post-pandemic recovery with stable expansion. What is driving the GDP growth? Services are growing fast. Manufacturing have been revived using PLI, that is production-linked incentives. Good monsoon has benefited the agriculture production, and public capital expenditure has increased. Next is inflation. Food and fuel prices moderated, so CPI inflation has declined. You can clearly see the downward trend. Low inflation means higher purchasing power and stable growth. For prelims, revise CPI, WPI, and repo rate tools. This pie chart shows the structure of the Indian economy. Services contribute the most, then industry, then agriculture. So India is a services-led economy, but agriculture still supports livelihoods of millions, so it remains important. Agriculture grew steadily due to good monsoon, dairy, fisheries, and allied sectors. Even moderate growth here boosts rural demand and food security. Manufacturing is improving because of PLI schemes, Make in India, infrastructure push, and private investment revival. This chart compares all three sectors, services growing fastest, manufacturing catching up, and agriculture stable. So growth is broad-based, which is healthy sign. Services are India's growth engine. IT, telecom, finance, tourism, all are expanding. India is now one of the top service exporters globally. Great point for aces and mains. Government finances show improvement, fiscal deficit is narrowing, tax collection is rising, and capital expenditure is increasing. Notice this carefully, deficit falling, but capex is increasing. This means government is investing more in roads, railways, infrastructure instead of subsidies. This is called quality expenditure. Very important mains concept. India's external position remains strong. Record exports, strong services surplus, CAD under control, current account deficit in control, and healthy forex reserves. This chart explains why services exports are very strong, balancing goods imports. So India's balance of payment stays stable. Prelims favorite topic. Labor indicators are improving. Participation is rising. Female employment increasing. Unemployment is declining. E-Shram and digital platforms are formalizing the employment sector. This visual confirms the improvement. Survey says skilling plus labor reforms can boost productivity further. You can think about this. How can skilling and labor reform boost the productivity further? Growth is meaningful only if people benefit. Survey highlights poverty reduction, better healthcare, education spending, basic services like water and electricity. This sharp fall in poverty is very encouraging. It shows growth is becoming inclusive. Excellent example for GS3 and essay answers. Survey recommends labor reforms, skill development, green energy, digital economy, and ease of doing business. Focus is productivity and long-term competitiveness. Quick revision for prelims. GDP is at 7%, that is approximately 7.4%. Fiscal deficit is 4.5%. Services is the largest sector. Production linked incentives for manufacturing is helping the revival of manufacturing, and inflation is low around 2%. We'll revise again. GDP is at 7.4%. Fiscal deficit is at 4.5%. Services is the largest sector of the economy. Production linked incentives for manufacturing is helping revival and boosting of manufacturing sector. Inflation is low around 2%. Any questions related to economic survey in the mains can be written in this way. Introduction can be India is the fastest growing major economy. Body should focus on macro stability, sectors and reforms. Challenges should include jobs, global slowdown, climate risks, and conclusion should be about sustainable inclusive growth. Simpler the structure, higher the marks. And that's your complete economic survey 2026 revision using both concepts and charts. If you understand these visuals, you have basically mastered the survey. Like, share, and subscribe for more UPSC economic simplifications. See you in the next class. Thank you.